Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about PMLA. What do the letters stand for? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. It is about that, and it has been written against the backdrop of a minister of Maharashtra state getting arrested, and it talks about the pros and cons and also whether PMLA is being misused or not. It's all about that. There are not too many words to learn from this editorial, but today you're going to work on errors, fillers, parajumble, idioms, and as usual, editorial words. Now let us have a quick look at the vocabulary part, editorial vocabulary. As I said, not too many words, but some words are very important. We have got for the first time. Scrutiny, we have got many a time. What is the meaning of the word scrutiny? Critical observation or examination. Critical observation or examination. We also use if scrutinize is a verb form, scrutiny is a noun form. Alliance, we have got many a time, it is a noun, a union or association formed for mutual benefit, especially between countries or organization or parties. Usually it goes with war, it also goes with elections. That's why I have added the word parties. Pertain, it's an important word we have got for the first time, I suppose. Pertain is a regular verb. It means what? Be appropriate, related, or applicable to. The statement pertains to something, means related to something. Ostensibly, an important word, though we haven't got, it is an important word. It goes with effective English. As appears or is stated to be true, though not necessarily. Something appears to be true, seems to be true, may not be, need not be. Another word for ostensibly, apparently. Apparently also means obviously. Alleged, we have got many a time, allegations, accusations, said without proof to have taken place or to have a specified illegal or undesirable quality. You point out someone saying that someone has done something illegal, but there's no proof. Then we use the word either allegation or accusation. Allegation is a noun form, allege is a verb form. Deceased, you got to be careful. This goes with confusing words. One regular disease, you all know, but here look at the spelling, entirely different. This means disease is a noun, the regular one, DISEASE, but this is DECEASCD. Disease is a regular verb. What does it mean? Generally, we say deceased person, then it becomes an adjective. The recently dead person in question. Recently dead person. Retrospective, we got yesterday or day before yes, not yesterday. There was no session yesterday. Day before yesterday. What does it mean? Retro, going back into the past, looking back on or dealing with past events or situations. Rule out, this is a phrasal verb. Usually we say something has been ruled out, means what? Not going to happen. Exclude someone or something as a possibility. When you say something is ruled out, it is not going to happen. Slugfest, an important word we have got for the first time, but actually it goes with sports. Sports, the field of sports, a tough and challenging contest, especially in sports such as boxing and baseball. But here it talks about the center and the state or the parties. The context is different. Do remember, it usually goes with sports. Recourse we have got for the first time, a source of help in a difficult situation. Imagine you're going through problems or troubles or hardships, then you find something as a source of help. Then you should think of the word recourse. Arbitrary, we got day for yesterday, based on random choice or personal whim rather than any reason or system. Whims and fancies, that is an important idiomatic expression. You act spontaneously based on your emotions without using any rationality. For that, you take a decision. The typical combination, arbitrary decision. Vague, we have got many a time. Uncertain, indefinite, or unclear. Generally, vague means not clear. You can also think of the word ambiguous. This editorial is all about money laundering. What does it mean exactly? The concealment of the origins of the illegally obtained money. Someone gets money illegally, he or she tries to conceal, hide the origins, typically by means of transfers involving foreign banks or legitimate businesses. They try to do it in the guise of legitimate business, or they try to use foreign banks. Then we use the term or the expression money laundering, and there's a particular act against that. Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Narcotics, another word, important word, a drug or other substance that affects mood or behavior and is consumed for non medical purposes, especially one sold illegally. People wonder what is the difference between the word drug and narcotics. Drug has two connotations. One is positive, goes with the medical field, pharma field, but a drug has a negative connotation, taking drugs, getting addicted to drugs. That is a negative thing. Narcotics goes more with that. A drug or other substance that affects the mood or behavior and is consumed for non medical purposes, especially one sold illegally, that is not legal, illegal. Draconian law we have got in the recent past means what? Very strict or excessively harsh and severe. Fanciful, over imaginative and unrealistic. Seize, from that you get seizure. Take hold of suddenly and forcibly. You can also think of the word grab something. You take something, but here we use the word seize. Informal English, grab; formal English, taken by officials legally, then we use the word seize. Some of these words are very important. Now let us go to the editorial and see what is there to learn from this editorial. Comprehension point of view, vocabulary point of view, grammar point of view. Active agent, you cannot make out what exactly the two words mean. You have to read the next sentence to make out the gist of the editorial or the main idea of the editorial. The use of PMLA against Nawab Malik requires a strict judicial scrutiny. This talks about, as I said, the PMLA. What do the letters stand for? Prevention of Money Laundering Act. The use, now the editorial opines this particular act is being misused, and it tries to prove that point. It takes a particular stand, and based on that stand, it writes this has been written. The use of PMLA against Nawab Malik, a minister of Maharashtra state government, requires strict judicial scrutiny. What is the main idea of this editorial? A minister has been arrested using this PMLA, and this has to undergo strict judicial scrutiny. There is one important word we have got many a time. What does it mean, scrutiny or scrutinize? Critical observation or examination. Now it provides the background information or the stimulus to write this editorial. What has happened recently? Maharashtra's Minister of Minority Affairs and Skill Development and Nationalist Congress Party (NCP) leader. There's one minister, Maharashtra's Minister of Minority Affairs and Skill Development, also the leader of Nationalist Congress Party (NCP) leader Nawab Malik is the second minister in the Maha-Vikas Aghadi alliance to be arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. He has been arrested. Arrested by whom? And this minister has been arrested by the ED, Enforcement Directorate. There's another word over here, alliance. We have got this many a time. Usually it goes with wartime, we use this word. It also goes with election time, we use it goes with parties. What does it mean? A union or association formed for mutual benefit, especially between countries or organizations, and also you can think of parties. So this talks about the party leader, which party? NCP, Nationalist Congress Party leader, and also right now is a minister, Minister of Minority Affairs and Skill Development. He is a second minister. First minister, the editorial talks about that minister as well, and what exactly happened when that minister, the first minister, got arrested, and this minister is a second minister in the Maha-Vikas Aghadi Alliance, MVA Alliance, to be arrested by Enforcement Directorate. This is the actual event. Based on that, this has been written. And what is a case against Mr. Malik? Obviously, when someone gets arrested, there should be a reason. This sentence talks about the reason behind. The case against Mr. Malik pertains to a transaction in 1999. in which a property was sold to one of the companies belonging to him for a price ostensibly much lower than its actual worth. The reason behind his arrest, it is related to the sale of a particular property. Pertain, an important word, means what? Related to. Related to what? A transaction, a sale. Way back in 1999. And what exactly happened in that transaction? A property has been sold or was sold. Property was sold to one of the companies belonging to him for a price ostensibly much lower than its actual worth. Imagine the work of the property, the worth of the property is about 1 crore. It was sold at 25 lakhs. Definitely, it is much lower. Based on that, this minister has been arrested. There are two words over here. One is pertain, an important word. It means what? Relate to. Another word, ostensibly, is an important word. Appears to be true, may not be true. You can also think of the word apparently, obviously. The additional solicitor general alleged that. Now, what is the allegation? Some property was sold at a lower than its actual worth, and based on that, some allegation has been made. What was the allegation? The additional solicitor general alleged that there was enough evidence to make a case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. They had evidence, it seems, and based on that, they arrested. What is that evidence? That you can see after some time. Perhaps the editor must have touched to make a case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Based on that evidence, they thought it comes under PMLA, and based on that, the minister was arrested. The ED has also alleged that the property sale was done by an individual, Salim Patel, an associate for Dawood Ibrahim's sister, Hasina Parker, since deceased. There is one word here, deceased, means what? A recently dead person. Another allegation, one allegation, there is proof that it is a case that comes under the PMLA. Another allegation made by the Enforcement Directorate, the Additional Solicitor General. The ED has also alleged that the property sale was done by an individual, Salim Patel, an associate for Dawood Ibrahim's sister, Hasina Parker. Since deceased, this is a bit difficult to understand, but here it means deceased, you have to know the meaning. A person, recently dead person. What was the stand taken by Mr. Malik's advocate? Obviously, the minister was arrested, and his stand or his lawyer's stand, Mr. Malik's advocate has argued that the power of attorney for the property sale was made in 1999. The sale, if you take property sale, the power of attorney for the property sale was made in 1999, much before the PMLA came into force, and that there is no retrospective action in criminal law. We have got this word recently, retrospective. What does it mean? Looking back or looking back on or dealing with past events or situations. This is an important point in the sense the Mr. Malik's advocate has argued that the power of attorney, usually at the time of sale of property, we use this expression, power of attorney for the property sale was made in 1999, much before the PMLA came into force. PMLA came into force after 1999, and that there's no retrospective action in criminal law. This goes with criminal law. It seems in criminal law, there's nothing like retrospective action. That means what? 1999 PMLA came into existence or came into force, and this happened after 1999. This happened in 1999. So they cannot go back retrospective, they cannot take retrospective action. It is not applicable when it comes to criminal law. That is a stand taken by Mr. Malik's advocate. It should be noted that Mr. Malik, now editorial takes, based on its stand, it brings out a particular point, raises a point. What is that? It should be noted that Mr. Malik has been vocal in his criticism of agencies such as the Narcotics Control Bureau and the way they have conducted investigations against individuals in Mumbai. So the editorial says it should be noted, there's something to be noted when you look at all this. What is that? It should be noted that Mr. Malik has been vocal, very strong in his criticism of agencies such as the Narcotics Control Bureau and the way they have conducted investigations against individuals in Mumbai. Unlike the case with former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, he is a second minister. Already they told talks about the same thing: first minister, second minister. First Minister Anil Deshmukh. Here, unlike means that time something happened, this time it may not happen. Unlike the case with former Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who resigned after his arrest last year. When Mr. Anil Deshmukh was arrested, he had to resign, he resigned. This is what happened last year. The NCP and its chief Sharad Pawar have ruled out means there is no possibility. Mr. Malik's resignation. That means what? Mr. Malik is not going to resign, alleging that this is an attempt by the BJP to destabilize the MVA government. So the allegation made by Sharad Pawar and also the NCP, the resignation of the minister, Mr. Malik, that is ruled out one thing. And what is the allegation? That this is an attempt by the BJP to destabilize the MVA government. It is for the courts to find if there is merit in the ED's case against Mr. Malik. Whose job is it to find out whether this arrest can be justified or cannot be justified? It is for the courts to find if there is merit in the ED's case against Mr. Malik. It has to do so quickly. And the editorial opines it has to do so quickly. The court has to do quickly, as this has become yet another political slugfest between the ruling coalition and the BJP. This word we have got for the first time. So, what does it mean? Slugfest, a tough and challenging contest, especially in sports such as boxing and baseball. And you may wonder, how is it related to this? In this context, it means there is a contest, there is a tough fight between the ruling coalition, the Maharashtra state, and the BJP, the center. But there have been several instances where the PMLA has been used by the government at the center as a weapon to target politicians from the opposition, their relatives, and activists recently. Now, the second part of the editorial talks about, according to the editorial, how this is being misused. But there have been several instances where the PMLA has been used by the government at the center as a weapon to target politicians from the opposition, their relatives, and activists recently. What is a proof to make that statement or to take that stand? Now the editorial has to substantiate. To substantiate, it provides the statistical data. The PMLA was enacted in 2002 in line with India's global commitment to fight money laundering, particularly related to crimes involving drugs and narcotics. It starts with when it was enacted. The PMLA was enacted in 2002 in line with India's global commitment to combat means fight, money laundering. I have already given the meaning of the word money laundering: the concealment of the origins of illegally obtained money, typically by means of transfers involving either foreign banks or legitimate businesses. They try to do it, particularly related to crimes involving drugs and narcotics. Narcotics, a drug or other substance that affects mood or behavior and is consumed for non medical purposes, especially one sold illegally. It is not legal, illegal. But as petitions filed in the Supreme Court against the draconian use of the Act have pointed out, now it provides a justification sentence. What is it? But as petitions filed in the Supreme Court against the draconian use of the Act, there's one important word. Usually it goes with law. Draconian law means what? Excessively harsh and severe. You can say very strict. Draconian use of the Act have pointed out the ED conducted 1,700 raids and investigations in 1,569 cases in the last decade, 2011 to 20, but could obtain convictions only in 9 cases. This is the based on this, perhaps the editorial has taken the stand. It is being misused, and as a weapon. The editorial has used one particular word as a weapon against the opposition leaders, their relatives, and also activists. 1,700 raids, investigations in 1,569 cases, but could obtain convictions only 9 cases. Conviction. There are two words. One is convict, the other one is acquit. Acquit, when someone is found innocent, the person is acquitted. When someone is found guilty, the person is convicted. Both are legal terms. How does the editorial end? This suggests that the agency is using the offences scheduled in the PMLA in an overbroad sense without limiting itself to the chief purpose of the Act. Perhaps it is going beyond the limit, that's what the editorial thinks. Meanwhile, as the petitioners in the case against the PMLA's use have argued in the Supreme Court, taking recourse to the Act should not be arbitrary, vague, and fanciful, and the court must weigh in whether the near blanket powers given to the ED for search, seizure, and attachment of assets in several cases are justifiable. A lengthy sentence, but what does it talk about? It talks about the stand taken by the petitioners. Meanwhile, as the petitioners in the case against the PMLA's use have argued in the Supreme Court, taking recourse to the Act, there's one important word: recourse means what? A source of help in a difficult situation. This recourse to the Act, PMLA, should not be arbitrary, an important word, should not be based on someone's whim. Vague should not be vague, means should not be ambiguous, it should be crystal clear. And fanciful, over imaginative and unrealistic. And the court, because it should not be that way, what is the role the court has to play? The court must weigh in whether the near blanket powers, an important expression, near blanket, not completely. Blanket powers means a lot of power, a lot of authority given to the ED for searching, seizure, and attachment of assets in several cases are justifiable. Means what? Whether they can be justified or not. It ends on that particular note, I suppose, yes. So, an important editorial, you may get something related to PMLA as a passage. It is an important editorial. So, you have to read twice or thrice, understand, comprehend, and always when you come across, I say, an important editorial based on the analysis, all the previous year's papers, you should allot some time, try to acquire the related words, lexical terms, important expressions, and also you should write the answers so that you will be everything becomes familiar when it comes to this particular topic. Let us have a look at the questions based on this editorial comprehension point of view. What is this editorial about? What requires a strict judicial scrutiny? What does the case against Mr. Malik pertain to? What is it? What is it related to? What should be noted in the context of the editorial? Always focus on the key words and try to write the answer. The PMLA was enacted in 2002 in line with what? In line with something, it was enacted in 2002, and you have to navigate, locate the words to the year 2002, and also PMLA was enacted in line with an important phrase. Then you'll be able to write the exact answer. Let us go to questions, practice questions based on exam topics. Today we have brought 4 exercises. So try to look at the first one, spot the error. First 5 go with error location. A committee constituted by the Union Home Ministry in December to study the withdrawal of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act or AFSPA from Nagaland is yet to conclude its findings. A lengthy sentence, you have to read meticulously, only then you will be able to decide whether there is an error or whether there is no error. Vague, you can also use equivocal. Yes, Raghu, that's right. Ambiguous, equivocal, obscure, vague, not clear. Please read the first one. Where is this was? Is yet to conclude. No, nothing wrong with is. Yet to conclude. You cannot use past. It has to be in present. Is yet to conclude its findings. Words cannot be used with the expression yet to conclude. They're contradictory. Here we have to use is. Who is this? Raghu. Very good. There is no error. Prashant. I appreciate those two students. Answer is no error. Raghu and Prashant Kumar. Very good. I appreciate. No error. Fine. Go to sentence number two or question number two. Wastewater generated from the building will be used. No, for a few seconds. Yes, yes. For a few seconds. Only a few seconds. Now there is no problem. Wastewater, please try to spot the error. Sentence number, question number two. No one has answered. Question number two. No. Wastewater generated from the building will be used for flushing and landscaping. Flushing and landscaping. Parallel expression. For flushing and landscaping to reduce water consumption. Here you have to look at two words. One is flushing, the other one landscaping. ING form. So what is this question about? Parallelism. Parallelism or parallel expression. Flushing, landscaping. Good question. Not easy under pressure. Bringing more area under oil palm cultivation will not only prove a boon to the farmers, but also will reduce a country's dependence on importing edible oil. Has anyone answered? Very good. Sai Arvind. Here we don't have to use will, not required, already used. Bringing more area under oil palm cultivation will not only prove, not only prove a boon to the farmers, but also prove, reduce, parallel expression again. Not only, but also. We have but also, not only prove, but also reduce. Will is not required. Boon means a gift. Boon or bane, there are two words you have to know. One, boon, positive, bane, negative. Boon means something positive, a gift, and a bane, something like a curse. What is this about? Redundancy. Redundancy. Please go to question number four. Hyderabad City Police, in an attempt to free up police station premises and the valuable space across them, on Tuesday auctioned abandoned and unclaimed vehicles. Yes, that is right, Nagamani. Bane, curse. I have removed. Remove will. I have removed. Please write what it is about. That also helps. Will not required. Unnecessary use of will. That means what? Redundancy. Superfluous. Hyderabad City Police, nothing wrong. In an attempt, a standard phrase, nothing wrong. In an attempt to free up police station premises, plural form, nothing wrong with that. And I'm sorry, premises and the valuable space. Two things are there, plural. Across them there's nothing wrong. We cannot use a preposition across here. What is the correct preposition? Around. Around them. Across them, across from one corner to another corner. Around them. Based on the context, across is not correct. The correct preposition around them. Videos of Andhra Pradesh police destroyed 2 lakh kg ganja garnered much attention on social media. Garner means gathered, with internet users wondering if the uniformed personnel or onlookers were impacted by the fumes. A lengthy sentence. Please go to question number 5. Very good. Who is this? Ahmad. Destroyed is not correct. Destroying. We have to say videos of Andhra Pradesh police destroying 2 lakh kg ganja. Destroying. The question is about word form. Right word, wrong form. Destroyed is not good. Destroying. Videos of someone doing something. Videos of Andhra Pradesh police destroying. That is the error. Otherwise, the sentence is perfect. You don't have to worry about the remaining other words. Only one error. Lengthy, this is also, how many parts are there? One, two, three, four, five, six. Lengthy one, para jumble. You got to read very carefully. But always, whenever you come across lengthy ones or the short ones, do remember, take elimination approach. Including cannot be the first one. Following cannot be the first one. Hold this with big explosions cannot be the first one. And hold this one, hold this one. Then you have to go through. What is the first? Russian forces launched a wide-ranging assault on Ukraine on Thursday morning. Yes, C is the first one. Very good. What is the second one? C, D. Very good. With big explosions heard across the country and tanks reportedly crossing the Ukrainian border. No, third one is B. Following an order from Russian president. This is CDB, one group. Very good. Oh, within no time. Srinivas, Nagamani, and some more students. That's highly appreciable. CDB. After that, what? Fourth one. What is the fourth one? Yes, E is the fourth one. Putin urged Ukrainian troops to lay down their arms and vowed to retaliate against countries who interfered with Russia's actions. Yes, of course. E is the fourth one. Independent. After that, the reaction. What is the reaction? The world leaders. World leaders have condemned the invasion and promised to retaliate with increased sanctions, including US President Joe Biden, who denounced the unprovoked and unjustified attack and warned of catastrophic loss of life and human suffering. FA, one group. So, what is the correct order? CDB, one group, E, one group, one independent statement, FA. That's wonderful. CDB, EFA. I really appreciate you guys because this is a live session. You're not getting enough time. Usually, you don't get enough time. In spite of that, some students are able to get the correct order. That is highly appreciable, commendable, not easy. Ah, that's very good. I appreciate. A few students have got it right. That is really highly appreciable. Let us go to the next set of questions. Fillers. Fillers today not that difficult. Ah, very good. Nagamaleshwari, Nagamani. So many students have got all the five. Prasads. It is university. It starts with a vowel letter, but it has a consonantal sound. U. Yeah, that is a consonantal sound. Based on that, we cannot use and also ruled out, one ruled out. It is a university of excellence. Then you have to recollect what are the other examples. One is unique, another uniform, and universal. This is consolidation. And also, in so many exams I've given, European, all these you have to, important ones at least you have to recollect. Go to question number two. His words are hardly without screaming and shouting in the market. Yes, a European, a unique person, a one eyed beggar. His words are hardly without screaming and shouting in the market. Unicorn, the unicorn, because it is a unique horse, part of Greek mythology. Legible goes with handwriting. Legible handwriting, illegible handwriting. Eligible goes with a particular post. No, no, not legible. His words are, that means related to listening. Intelligible is the answer. Intelligible means understandable. What is the answer? Intelligible. What you say is not intelligible means not understandable. It is not legible. Legible goes with handwriting. Legible handwriting, illegible handwriting. The right appropriate word over here, intelligible. That's an important word. When someone speaks a particular language, you can't understand, then what do you say? What you say is not intelligible. They haven't had much time for social activities, and I haven't. This is a good question. Very good. Who is this? Right. They haven't had, have not had, present perfect tense, important expression, much time for social activities. Have not, I have not. Same pattern, present perfect, negative. Done so, also, gone. I haven't either. Second option. No, 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 no. It is, I haven't either. We have to use either. I have not either. Please go to question number 4. The information and communication technology has age and employs very highly paid technocrats. The information and communication technology has come upon, come out of, come through, come off. This goes with newspaper English. If you are exposed to uh, the language, obviously you can answer. No, no, it is not come upon, it is not come out of, come through. Come of age means to mature, to reach a stage where someone or something does well. Come of age. Usually it goes with organizations, companies, business context, and also technology, obviously. No one has got it right. No, 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 no. Answer is the fourth option. Come of age. No one has got it right. I'm really surprised. Now I see Manasa says the fourth option. Come of age. Which option is that? Fourth option is the answer. Serious threat to our ecology and environment can be with organic cultivation. With organic cultivation. Understand the context, this one, based on contextual awareness, can be hazy, not correct, aggravated. No, you need a positive word in the sense something that stops. You can consider either impeded or combated. That's why I said contextual awareness is very important. Serious threat to our ecology and environment can be impeded. You cannot use the word impeded. It has to be. Can be combated. Combat means what? Fight. How can we fight this serious threat to our ecology and environment? With organic cultivation. No, no, no. Answer is not the second option. It is not impeded. It is combated. How do you answer these? Based on contextual awareness and also exposure to the language. Let us go to, there are 5 idioms after a long time. Idioms, I haven't brought in the recent past, have I? No. Any port in a storm, not easy to guess. Impede means block. Here we don't have to use the word block. We have to fight the threat. There's a problem, we have to fight against the problem. Impede means block something. It does not go with the context. That's why I said read the newspaper, read the Hindu paper, read the editorials regularly. All these questions you can answer effortlessly. When you go take the exam, you come out and say it was a cakewalk. Almost everything looks familiar. Any port in a storm, in adverse circumstances, one welcomes any source of relief. Obviously, answer is the fifth one. Fifth wheel. To if you take, we all know the four wheels, four wheeler. Do we need the fifth wheel? Ask a question. Is it required? It is not required. Anything superfluous or unnecessary. So you can make out answer is a fourth option. Fifth wheel is not required. We need only four wheels. Flight of fancy. Huh. Cakewalk, a piece of cake. Flight of fancy. Third one is the third one. An imaginative but entirely unrealistic idea. Here it is, third one. Itchy feet. Someone has itchy feet. What does it mean? Feeling of a need to travel. Then we use itchy feet. Answer is the second one. Jump on the bandwagon. Very important. Any port in a storm, they have given many a time. And also, jump on the bandwagon. That is also an important one they have given. What does it mean? Obviously, you're left with the first one. To profit from a craze. There's a craze for something, and you profit from that. You try to profit, or you do the same thing. Then we say the company has joined the bandwagon. Same thing. Let us go to the last slide, enrichment point of view, editorial vocabulary. Try to write the parts of speech that always helps in the long run. Scrutiny. Scrutiny is a noun. Scrutinize is a verb. So what does it mean exactly? No one has responded. One F. What is F? Critical observation. That is right. Remember scrutiny, noun, scrutinize, verb. Careful examination, critical observation, thorough examination, you can say. Pertain, pertained, pertained. It's a regular verb. What does it mean? 1 month you get improvement. It is not a magic pill. You have to wait for at least 3 4 months. That too, if you have to do certain things consistently. 1 month you improve, then a lot of candidates get selected within no time, first attempt itself. Nothing happens overnight. Do remember, you need to have the patience, positive attitude, and you got to be consistent. You have to read the newspaper, the editorials, attend these sessions regularly for 6 months, 4 months at least. Then you can see substantial improvement. Pertain means what? Related to. Where is it? Relate to. I, yes, that's right. Ostensibly, adverb, it has two different meanings. One is something that appears, seems to be true, but may not be true. The other one, apparently or obviously. Alleged. Allege is a verb, allegation is a noun. You should also recollect the word accuse, accusation. Means what? Said something without proof. You say someone has done something wrong, but you don't have proof. Then we use an allegation has been made against someone. Answer is G. Deceased person means what? Adjective. Recently dead person. This comes under confusing words. Deceased noun, deceased this one verb. Do remember. Slugfest, contest, competition, noun. And it goes with sports arena, but in this context, one of the meanings, Uday Kumar, English, if you take the words, every word has two or three meanings. We use terms like primary meaning, secondary meaning, tertiary meaning. So slugfest, though it goes with sports arena or the field of sphere of sports, in this context, it is between the center and the state government, and also between the parties. Means what? Where is this tough contest? Fight, you can say. Recourse, this is an important word. A source of help when you're in distress or you're facing problems, you're facing hardships. H is the answer. This is a noun. H. Vague adjective. We have got so many times. Vague, obscure, equivocal, not clear, ambiguous. Where are the not clear or ambiguous? Draconian law. Do remember the combinations. When you say draconian law, obviously it has to be an adjective. Law is a noun. Excessively harsh or very strict. Severe. Fanciful. Something that is over imaginative or not realistic. Fanciful. That is again adjective. That's all about editorial vocabulary. Some words are very important and we have got for the first time. Try to spend more time on those words. I don't know how many of you know the word deceased, but that's an important word. Pertain, another important word. Ostensibly, vague, yes. Draconian, important. Fanciful goes more with conversational English. Before I wind up, there's a big announcement from an academy, government exam scholarship test. It is on February 27th, just 2 days to go. Rank 1 laptop, rank 2 to 6 smartphone, rank 7 to 16 wireless earpods, 300 winners 1000 gift voucher, 400 winners an academy scholarship. Thanks for being with me. Have a nice day. And do remember to subscribe and share. After the session, I'll provide the PDF. Work on important questions. I will consider, I will give it a thought, Bhavana. 7. See, every day what I do, same day is editorial. If same days, this is not, I don't do after 1 day. Same day editorial, I have to spend any editorial session 3 to 4 hours we have to spend. And 7 a.m., it's an uphill task. One reason I had to change a lot of commitments, hard pressed for time, but still I will consider. March 1st, you are going to, I said there's going to be a big announcement. You will see a lot of changes. Even here, I'm going to revamp. I'm going to take a different approach the Hindu editorial. It is going to help the students in the long run. I'm going to touch different dimensions like reading comprehension, vocabulary, grammar, effective English, and the approach is going to be entirely different. You have to wait till March 1st. I will definitely consider. Thank you very